This case is almost too senseless and too sad to mention. There are now over 100 cases on my channel, and I am never not disappointed and horrified with human nature. All I can say in comfort is that there are more good people out there than bad. So as you watch my channel, always remember that reassuring fact. Viewer discretion is advised for this educational documentary. Welcome back to Case Documentaries. I bring you true crime, disturbing stories and other things that you may later regret knowing with regular uploads every week. Join the quickly growing Case family by hitting subscribe now and turning on notifications. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. If your name is on screen right now, then you're a legend. Our love and respect goes out to all those that knew and loved Lily and all those affected by this dark case. Lily Sullivan was born in Pembroke in Wales. She grew up in Llanelli, a small market town in Carmarthenshire. There she lived with her mother, Anna. Lily was an only child, and her mother understandably doted on her. After a tragic 14 miscarriages, Anna had finally given birth to a healthy baby girl. She had all but given up hope until, that is, Lily came along and gave her real purpose to her life. Lily was a beautiful girl, inside and out. However, she couldn't always see that for herself. Growing up, she lacked self-confidence. She was an amazing artist and kind to everyone, but she was shy. This made it hard for her to find where she was meant to fit in high school. However, by her late teens, she had found her place. She had started college and she was truly thriving. Yes, she was quiet, but she was also quick-witted, a wise old head on young shoulders. She wasn't one for following the crowd either, but she had made new friends and was enjoying the independence that college was bringing her. She had just gotten her first tattoo, a spider in the middle of her chest with ivy leaves going over her shoulder. Really coming into her own, she had just started driving lessons and loved her part-time job at a supermarket. Her life was really just beginning. It was 2021 when Lily turned 18. In the UK, this opened up a world of socialising opportunities for her. She now spent her Friday evenings in the local pub, going on to dancing into the early hours of Sunday mornings with her friends in clubs. This was a different world, and for a girl that loved house music, she was now truly in her element. On December the 16th, Lily was heading to a Christmas night at Out, a nightclub formerly known as Paddles in Pembroke. At around 7:30 p.m, mother Anna had dropped Lily and her friend Lara at the Castle pub for pre-drinks. The girls were understandably excited to let their hair down, and everyone was in the festive spirit. Lily's mother drove away from the pub, wondering what stories of shenanigans the pair would come home with. She normally wouldn't have to wait too long. The plan was for Mum Anna to pick up Lily and her friend at the end of the evening, and the friend was then going to come for a sleepover. However, this plan never came to fruition. Lily and her friend stayed at the Castle pub for around an hour, before meeting 5 other friends and then walking to Out. Once inside, they got more drinks, and then took photos by the flower wall. No one could have anticipated that these would be the last photos as a group. The club was packed out. It was the festive season after all. A few hours later, Lara asked Lily if her mum was coming to get them. She wasn't feeling great and didn't want to stay out, but Lily was having a great time. She had met someone whilst in the club, 31-year-old Lewis Haynes, who was also out with his friends for the night. Lewis was a well-known cricket player in the area, one who liked to party and celebrate his wins. Tonight though, he wasn't celebrating celebrating a win. Instead, he'd fought with his girlfriend and was trying to drink it off. And now it seemed that his girlfriend was the last thing on his mind. Throughout the night, Lewis was showing Lily a lot of attention. He was buying her drink after drink and showering her with compliments. His friends had warned them that Lily was only 18, but he ignored them and continued to focus his attention. The pair were spotted kissing in the corner of the club, seemingly in their own little bubble. At around 1 a.m, Lara started to have a panic attack outside of the club. She wasn't sure how it started, but she did have them often, so this was a relatively normal occurrence. Amidst the panic attack, there was a scuffle happening in the background. Lewis's female friend was shouting at him and Lily. She said, "What are you doing? She's only 18. She continued, "You have a girlfriend and a baby at home." And then Lily walked off with Lewis, and that was the last time that Lara ever saw her best friend. At 2:47 a.m, Mother Anna was parked at a nearby garage waiting to pick up Lily and Lara. She phoned Lily and told her to get a move on. Lily told her that she was on her way and would be with her in just a couple of minutes. The phone call then ended abruptly. Mother Anna tried calling back, but there was no answer. This was unusual. Lily never hung up on her mum, but Anna could maybe put this down to just a drop in signal. She was coming from a club after all. Leaving a club is often a pretty hectic scene, if I remember correctly. While Anna was waiting for Lily, she phoned her friend Lara, but she said that Lily was no longer with her, and that she herself was staying with her grandparents. Anna attempted to call her daughter 30 more times, but each time the call went to voicemail. We can only imagine the panic rising within her. At around 3:10 a.m, Anna noticed a man walking by, acting suspiciously. He was shaking his head and then holding his head in his hands. Anna decided to follow the path that he was taking. She was just curious, but soon she lost sight of him. He lost her as he headed down towards a wooded area. Anna had no idea at that moment that the person she had been watching was the very same man who had just murdered her daughter only moments before. She began driving around the local area to search for Lily, but she eventually went home. She lived in hope that her daughter had gone to stay at a friend's house. She did, however, continue to send text messages to Lily's phone, praying that when she did wake up, there would be an apologetic reply and a really good explanation. But, as we know, this sadly would never come. In the early hours of the morning, Lewis Haynes returned to the home he shared with his girlfriend. He was crying hysterically and kept repeating, "Take me to my mum, I need to speak to my mum." On the way there, he confessed to killing someone. He said, "I've strangled somebody, they're in Mill Pond. I've been in Mill Pond." Lewis told his parents how he had met Lily at the nightclub and told them what he had done. Lewis's dad then drove to the pond, where sadly he found Lily. At around 4 a.m. on December the 17th, the police were called to the Mill Pond area after receiving a call from Lewis's dad. He told them that a female body had been found in the water. She was found with her cream-laced top removed. It was found next to her in the water. Her brown leather jacket and her phone were found in the alley nearby. The police and the ambulance service arrived. But despite their resuscitation attempts, Lily was already gone. When police attended Lewis's home, he told them, "I strangled her. He was arrested for murder and taken to the police station. He then frustratingly gave a no-comment police interview, but he later gave a statement. In this statement, he said he had met Lily for the first time on that night. He said that he couldn't recall Lily's age ever being mentioned, but he remembered his friend saying that he had a daughter and a partner at home. He explained that the pair had sat on a wall chatting after they left the club. They had then kissed and Lily had suggested that they go back to his house. He explained that it wasn't possible as he had a girlfriend. He then alleges that Lily said he would tell his girlfriend that he had violated her. He said that he tried to walk away, but she was hitting his back and saying she was going to ruin his life, saying that his daughter would now be ashamed of him. He said he lost it and grabbed Lily's neck and threw her sideways. This caused her to go into Mill Pond. He said he tried to lift her out, but by that time she was a dead weight. He thought that she was now dead, so he went home. Lewis Haynes was charged with Lily Sullivan's death on December the 20th. In May 2022, Lewis Haynes pleaded guilty to manslaughter, and he was due to stand trial for murder on June the 20th. However, he changed his plea to guilty on the charge of murder on the 13th of June. This was due to the overwhelming evidence against him. During his trial, Lewis had admitted to strangling, but insisted that the attack was not carnally motivated. He also stated that he had gone into the pond to try and save Lily. But the prosecution argued differently. There was bruising to Lily's left eye, her cheek, lower jaw, and upper neck. There was reddening near her collarbone. Her left arm was scratched and her right arm was bruised. There was also tiny spots of bleeding under the skin. These were consistent with manual strangulation. He hadn't just grabbed her neck and thrown her into the pond. This was an altogether different kind of attack. And the judge agreed. Before sentencing Lewis, he said, "I'm sure a degree of intimacy occurred in the alley. I'm equally sure it did not progress to sexual intercourse or anything close to it. I'm sure that did not happen as Lily did not want that to happen. There was no indication of distress, but a clear indication she was now coming to meet her mother. That phone call ended abruptly. She did not want the intimacy between her and Lewis Haynes to go as far as intercourse. I am sure from the evidence that Lily did not remove her top voluntarily to be naked in the middle of the night in December. I am sure Mr. Haynes took it off her. His account of her threatening to tell people what he had done with her does, in fact, have an element based in truth. I find she did say she would complain, not that he had actually her because he had not, but because he had tried to force himself upon her against her will. The court heard that Lewis had a great deal to lose because he was in a relationship and he was going through family court proceedings to have access to his child. He felt threatened that Lily could impact the outcome, and so he wanted to silence her. The judge said he throttled Lily to prevent her from telling people that he had tried to get her to go further than she was willing. His intention was to silence her. He didn't want anyone to know what had happened in the alley. The judge then stated, "You brutally murdered Lily Sullivan because you wanted intercourse. You strangled her face to face. She must have been terrified. An 18-year-old girl alone in the dark with a powerful man, entirely at your mercy. And you showed her absolutely none. You were only concerned about your self-preservation." He sentenced Haynes to 23 years before he will be eligible for parole, a sentence that falls short of Lily's mother. Anna called Lewis pure evil. She said that she would never forgive him for what he's done. She stated, "Overwhelmingly, I feel it's all so senseless. It didn't need to happen. What I can't come to terms with is that the man who killed Lily knew I was waiting for her and passed me by the garage. He chose not to help. He did nothing, which I can't forgive. Do you think the punishment fits the crime here? What do you think can be done to avoid something like this happening again in the future? Please do let me know down in the comments. Be careful out there, and I'll see you soon.